Good evening. Well, this is a Wednesday night, and I thought tonight, since I got so many comments about somebody that lives here, because I'm not supposed to be talking about him anymore. So I'm going to have to find a way to talk about it without saying names. Know what I mean? Because it will cause an argument, and I'd rather not argue. You know what I mean? So, I'll just switch names and say we. Okay? So you understand what's going on, because many of you already know the story, and apparently a lot of you don't. So, and I don't mind telling it, you know what I mean? Because it's truly what actually happened. And so that's why I've chosen to talk about it tonight, because it's important so you guys know how all this mess happened in the first place. Like I said, many of my subscribers have already heard this story, but some of you new ones haven't. So let me go on and say that we met in 2004 online. We talked for about 2 months, right? Which doesn't seem like very long, and it wasn't. But, and then I decided, the foolish me, decided that I would move down here to be with him, right? Because, 2 months he had told me that he was divorced. Plain and simple, he said he was divorced. And so, and at the time, I was living with my dad, and I felt terrible living with my dad, knowing that, his job was pretty much done, and he shouldn't have a 34-year-old living in his house, you know what I mean? But apparently he liked it, so, you can't argue with Dad. Anyway, my dad was still alive back then. Anyway, let me continue before I forget what I'm talking about. Yes, we met in 2004. Around what? I'm gonna say May. It was either late May or early June. I can't remember the exact date, but we met in May and June of 2004. And I moved down here July of 2004. And yes, it started out good, and we did date for about, I'm going to say, for a little while. We did date for 2 years, I'm going to say, yes. That was before Jesus. And I did date him for 2 years, and it was at that time when I found out that he was married, because he had told me all this time that he was divorced, and I found out later on that he was married. I didn't know that he was still married at the time, and otherwise I wouldn't have moved down here, plain and simple. And I talked to my dad, a few months after I had moved down here, and, Dad had mentioned that, I shouldn't have come down here. Because Dad knows best, Dad knows what they're saying. Because I had already just broken off a relationship in April with another person. And I finally had freedom then, you know what I mean? And I was living at my dad's, and that was a very traumatic 11 years, let me tell you that. And I brought that baggage into this relationship. Well, I don't want to get into the whole Joe thing, because he passed away a couple of years ago, and it just doesn't make any sense to talk about that now. But this is just talking about we, if you know what I mean. And so, I made the choice. I don't remember. He said that I broke up with him, and it's quite possible that I did. And at that same time, we were living with his ex-girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend had moved in. I don't remember if she was still living here or she had moved back in. But anyway, we lived with his ex-girlfriend for a year. Yeah. I'll just say that. Which, mind you, we became pretty good friends. And at the time, I thought they were broken up. And it turned, well, they might have been. Because like I said, I don't want to get into arguments with him. But she still cared about him, and I kind of felt bad. You know what I mean? I really felt bad. And so I thought, you know, what a mess I got myself into. And, you know, and by the time I realized that this wasn't going to work, I was stuck. Plain and simple. I got stuck, and I had no money to get back home. And, plain and simple. And that's how this happened. I'm trying to say this without telling you the story, without saying any names, which can get quite difficult. And that's how I got into this mess in the first place. But, you know, since I've been down here, I'm just saying, it hasn't been all that bad. It really wasn't. And I got kind of used to the way things were around here. And so I said, okay, we can share rent. I don't mind. And I never once thought that I wanted to date anyone else. You know what I mean? Because I haven't dated anyone since 2018. I did tell you that, right? So I have not been with a single man since 2018, if you know what I mean. So it's been about that long since I dated anyone. And the last one was him, is what I'm saying. I haven't. I just haven't. I'm being truthful and honest, and that's just, and I've had to practice a lot of self-control. I wanted to, but couldn't. Because I didn't really actually have the money to move even back then. The rents were pretty high back then, but I didn't think anything of it. You know what I mean? I really didn't. I had other things to occupy my mind with, like getting diabetes under control and those kind of things. So I didn't think. I still don't think that good, but it's gotten better. Like I said, it's gotten a lot better. And I had more anxiety back then. That's why I take medication for it now. I'm getting better. Things are getting better. They're not exactly where I like them to be. And yes, I would like to date someone else. But, I'm just not sure if that's even possible. Anyway, I'm just telling you the truth. I don't know if that's even possible. Anyway, that's the story between the two of us. And I can't talk about it anymore, and that's how the story goes. And let me see. Okay. I got 2 pages of stuff to talk about, so I'll try to stretch this out into 10 or 15 minutes maybe. Now, you see, I just gotta, instead of spending time looking for another person, which is distracting me a little bit, you know what I mean? I need to focus on getting my YouTube channel up to the way where I want it to be. You know what I mean? And just do it. You know what I mean? As I said, I had a lot of help getting my channel up as high as it is. You know what I mean? And I enjoy our lives on Saturday nights. I really do. I love them. I get to talk to you, and we get to have some interesting conversations. And yes, it gets quiet, but we always figure out what to talk about, right? And some of them have been quite fun. Like I said, I've had a ton of help along the way. Marina's the one that encouraged me to do videos every day, and so I started with that. And I started getting more and more and more and more. And it helped to have somebody that shared the channel with a lot of other people and got us more subscribers, which I'm very appreciative of. So from now on, I gotta stop. I always said that I'm not gonna chase another person, you know, because as I always said, the more that you chase someone, the faster they will run away. And I don't want to chase anyone. You know what I mean? You can have all the feelings for someone in the world, but that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? The chasing is I said I wasn't going to do that, and I'm not. I'm not going to chase. If all I get out of all of these is friends and friendships, then I'll take them. You know, because I'm starting to realize that having good friends is more important than any relationship, right? There's still relationships, but to be honest, I'd rather have someone, a lady, I can get along with, and we can go out and have coffee, or sit in the living room and have coffee, or I can go see you and have coffee. You can come see me and we have coffee. You know what I mean? A girlfriend. You know what I mean? That is, I don't mean a girlfriend, but a bestie. See, I don't know how else to word it, but I can take that. You know what I mean? If all I get is a whole bunch of great friends, then I will take that. You know what I mean? And perhaps if I get any of it, you know, even a fella, I'll take that too. But I'm just saying, friendships are much more important, don't you think? Well, I think it is. Let me see. I mean, I've spent a lot of time alone. And I'm starting to enjoy the solitude. You know, spending the time by myself, thinking. You know, because when you're by yourself, you have time to think. You know what I mean? Think about where I want to, how I want to spend the rest of my life, or what video ideas I can come up with, which I very seldom come up with any. You guys give me the most ideas. But I do spend a lot of time by myself. I don't really talk to him all that much. The only time we ever talk is when he's in the kitchen cooking something, or I have to ask him a question. But I don't do that too often. He's got his space and I have mine, and that's just the way it is. I live my own life, he lives his life, and it seems like everybody's happy that way. You know what I mean? I don't, this cat is driving me nuts. You gotta knock that, hold on, he's gonna knock the box over. Stop, no, no, Nugget, Nug, leave my dolls alone. No, you're not, I won't let you, no, no. Yeah, boy. He's laying in a box with my dolls. I hope he doesn't ruin them. Stop it. Get out of there. Come on. Come on, you. Come on. Okay, he's out now. Did you see him in there? Anyway, I gotta tape up that box and close it. Whew, my dolls are in there. Anyway, let me finish this. And all these things that I have done was way before I found Jesus. You know, way before I got saved and baptized and all those things. And so I've spent the last majority of my life praising the Lord for the last, since 2017, which doesn't seem like a long time for most people. You know, I've always believed in Christ, and I always believed that, you know, I've always been a believer. But I've gotten into it more so lately, because I know that he's been with me all of this time, even through all the bad stuff, the negative things in my life. So I figured, instead of, you know, paying attention to all these distractions that I have and looking for men, you know, or looking for this and looking for that, I figured I'm gonna surrender my whole life and let the Lord decide, and I'll just lead. You know what I mean? Wherever he goes, I go. You know, wherever he wants me to go, that's where I'm gonna go. If he wants me to stay here, then that's what I'll do, stay here. Plus, currently, I don't have the money to move, in case anybody was interested. It just costs a lot of money, and that's why I'm working on this YouTube channel, to trying to build it up, you know, so I can start earning money, right? And I will. This channel will grow and grow and grow. Just saying. But that's what I want to do. Like I said, I just decided that, you know, if something was meant to be, then it will. It will be. You know what I mean? It will be. And nobody else it's not meant for somebody else. It would only be meant for me, and that's what I believe. Whatever happens, happens. So I gotta trust the Lord that he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? He does know what he's doing, and he knows the things in your future that I don't know. You know what I mean? He knows who's good and who isn't. He knows who's, you know, if he's stopping certain people from entering your life, well, then he knows the reason why. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's just how I feel. You know what I mean? Anyways, oh my goodness, I can go on and on and on about this stuff, because I really enjoy talking about the Lord. Because if it wasn't for him, I would not be here right now. I think I would have keeled over a long time ago. I really believe that. I believe that the Lord had given me a whole bunch of really great friends. Yes, he did. You've all been so supportive. Yes, you ask a lot of questions, and I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do, because it started a conversation, and I like those. So, I'm just saying that that's just how I believe now. If something was meant to be, it will happen. And if it wasn't meant to be, then it wasn't meant to be. Right? Yeah. And so I'm going to end this video now and tell you and say goodnight. And I want to let you all know that I truly care about each and every one of you, and all your positive vibes, and your amazing support, and you're just all around amazing people, plain and simple. You guys are awesome. You are the best subscribers on all of YouTube, and I honestly believe that. You're amazing, and you're awesome, and other than the Lord, if it wasn't for all of you, I would not be here either. Yes. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate each and every one of you a lot. And I humbly know that you guys, and I'm humbly grateful. Because without you, I couldn't do this. I wouldn't be able to keep going on, but you guys look forward to the videos, and I'm happy to bring them to you. Especially when you give me a lot of great ideas. So, anyway, I am gonna go now, and I need to say goodnight because this video is extra long tonight. I'm sorry. And I will see you all Thursday morning. Yes, I will do a video tomorrow morning and Friday morning because we have to advertise, and for Saturday Live, and see if we can get some new people in there, right? We need more subscribers, right? We need some more people to join our little get-togethers on Saturday nights, right? I love that. And anyway, I will see you tomorrow morning and tomorrow night. Love, 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 love. Good night, everybody. Love you so much. Never forget that.